Ilara Thompson glided onto the stage, heels echoing sharply against the gleaming floor. The spotlight bathed her emerald gown in liquid light, turning every movement into something luminous. She offered the crowd her signature smile, bright, generous, unbreakable. Hundreds of eyes followed her, the city's wealthy and influential, all waiting for inspiration. "Good evening," she said, voice warm and steady. "Tonight isn't just about donations. It's about rewriting destinies." As CEO of Hope Haven, the youth empowerment nonprofit, Ilara embodied resilience wrapped in elegance. Her stories, of kids pulled from the edge, of second chances earned through grit, moved the room. Laughter rippled when she joked about her own awkward teenage years. Quiet nods followed tales of triumph over hardship. By the final ovation, pledges poured in. She bowed slightly, radiant, untouchable. She smiled in public, but in private. The dressing room door clicked shut behind her. Applause became muffled thunder. Ilara faced the mirror and watched the mask dissolve. Makeup still perfect, hair still flawless, yet her eyes looked bruised, ancient. She collapsed into the chair, shoulders dropping as though gravity had suddenly doubled. A tear escaped, then another, carving dark tracks down her cheeks. She pressed a palm to her mouth to stifle the sound. Why did victory always taste like ash? Her childhood had taught her this performance. In a Rust Belt town, her mother worked double shifts while Ilara learned to smile through hunger, through shame, through the landlord's threats taped to their door. "Never show them you're hurting," her mother whispered nightly. "They'll use it against you." So Ilara smiled at teachers, at classmates who mocked her patched jeans, at the mirror when she cried alone. That smile carried her through scholarships, through college, through boardrooms where men twice her age dismissed her until she proved them wrong. At 38, she was celebrated. Profiles in glossy magazines, TEDx invitations, a social media feed full of sunrise quotes and empowerment hashtags. Hundreds of thousands followed the woman who seemed to have it all figured out. Yet in the silence of her high-rise apartment, the illusion shattered. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed a glittering city that felt miles away. Ilara poured wine, glass number 3, and scrolled past the gala's flood of praise. "Legend. You inspire me every day." She tapped hearts without feeling them. Then she set the phone face down and let the emptiness rush in. It wasn't dramatic despair. It was quiet, chronic, like a low-grade fever that never broke. She envied people who could simply feel happy. For her, happiness was a costume she wore convincingly but never owned. Memories arrived uninvited. Age 5. Father gone, mother crying in the kitchen while Ilara told knock-knock jokes to make her laugh. Age 16. Boyfriend's betrayal announced publicly. She smiled through the gossip, graduated valedictorian anyway. Age 24. A supervisor's unwanted hands. She documented nothing, smiled at meetings, and outworked everyone until she could leave. Layer upon layer of swallowed pain, each one reinforcing the belief that vulnerability was defeat. Tonight the wine only sharpened the ache. She traded the gown for an old college sweatshirt that still carried the faint scent of dorm detergent. On the bedroom floor, knees to chest, she let the sobs come. Ugly, ragged, private. "Why is this so hard?" she whispered to no one. She'd tried therapy twice. Both times she cancelled before the third session. Admitting she wasn't okay felt like dismantling the very foundation she'd built her life upon. Her phone lit up. Marcus. Speech was fire tonight. Dinner tomorrow. Charming, handsome Marcus. The architect who photographed well beside her at galas. Publicly they were effortless. Shared laughs, linked arms, the ideal modern couple. Privately, she kept him at arm's length. Closeness meant exposure. She would vanish for days, then return with apologies and that perfect smile. He waited, perhaps because his own scars made him patient. Tonight she typed yes, stared at it, then erased it. Crazy week ahead. Soon. Another barrier raised. Morning arrived with a throbbing head. She moved through ritual. Sunrise yoga, green juice, mirror affirmations. I am capable. I am enough. The phrases rang empty, but habit carried her forward. At the office her team buzzed. Over 500,000 raised, her assistant announced. Ilara grinned, fist bumped the room. We did this together. Meetings flowed, strategy, outreach, impact reports. She was sharp, decisive, the leader they believed in. Lunch was solitary, a salad eaten at her desk. Her gaze drifted to the framed photo on the shelf. Herself surrounded by grinning teenagers from the program. Jamal's handwritten note was taped beside it. Ms. Ilara, you showed me I could dream bigger. The words should have warmed her. Instead they accused. What would they think if they saw her now? Curled up, hollowed out, terrified of being seen. A late afternoon emergency hit. Major donor withdrawal threatened after-school programs. Panic flickered, but she smothered it. We'll adapt, she told the team calmly. We've faced worse. Inside, fear screamed that one misstep would reveal the fraud beneath the polish. By dusk, contingency plans were solid, and relief rippled through the office. You're a miracle worker, someone said. She waved it away with a practiced smile. Night returned her to solitude. Door locked, mask off. She sank onto the couch, staring at nothing. The city hummed beyond the glass, indifferent. She considered calling her mother, but knew the script. Praise, pride, no space for shadows. Then came the knock. Marcus stood there, paper bags in hand. I know you postponed, but thought you might be hungry. His eyes held quiet concern. She almost shut the door. Instead she stepped aside. They ate on the couch in near silence, takeout containers between them. Eventually he spoke. You disappear on me. Why? Her fork stilled. The truth rose like bile. Because if you really saw me, the mess, the fear, you'd run. He set his food down. Let me decide that. She exhaled, shaky. Then the dam broke. She spoke of the childhood lessons in endurance, the father's absence that taught her love could vanish, the years of performing strength until she forgot how to stop. The words were clumsy, unfiltered. Marcus listened without interrupting, without fixing. Something eased, not dramatically but noticeably. No instant transformation, only a small opening. The next morning she smiled for the cameras again, but the private hours held something new, a tentative permission to feel. She booked therapy for the following week. She texted a close friend the truth instead of deflection. The habits were stubborn. The mask still fit too well. Public Ilara remained luminous, a beacon. But private Ilara began, slowly, to breathe. The distance between the two selves shrank, just enough for light to pass through. In that narrowing space, she discovered something fragile and real. A smile that belonged to her, not the world.